Hello, welcome to Time Management Secrets with Kalita. And tonight we're going to dive headfirst into time management. And I'm going to share with you some of the secrets that, I utilize to organize my time. I cannot count how many times people ask me how I'm able to balance being a single mom in a completely strange country, a full time student, and still have a thriving business. They want to know, where do I find the time, okay? And by the end of this webinar, you are going to know, one, how to come up with a schedule that's customized to you. You're also going to know what are the things that you just cannot reschedule, things that you have to get done. And we're going to figure out how you can do the stuff that you actually want to do, because the point of managing your time and being more productive is to make sure that you have time to do the things that you love and to spend time with those that you love. Whether you're an entrepreneur or not, you just need to know how to be more productive in order to do the stuff that's fun. So I'm going to jump right in, and I just want to remind you of one thing. Everyone has the same 24 hours as the most successful people, okay? So all you need to do is to take action. There are billionaires, there are millionaires, there are people who built themselves from the ground up, and you have the same amount of time in a day that they have. It's just about you taking action and figuring out where you are going to find the time to do what you have to do, okay? So, one of the things that I have definitely learned, I'm not gonna say the hard way, but I've definitely learned this. Planning makes a huge difference. You need to plan your day ahead of time. It's really and truly that simple. What I do is every single night I sit down, and it literally takes a few minutes, most 5 to 10 minutes, and I figure out what it is that I have to do the next day, because no day is identical. There are things that happen. And of course, there are emergencies that you can't foresee, but aside from that, there's maybe a football game that you have for your kids, or maybe a basketball game, ballet practice, whatever it is you need to know what it is for the next day so you can plan ahead. And one of the things that I do is I plan breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Planning that saves me maybe 15 to 30 minutes beforehand of trying to figure out what we're going to eat that night. I mean, have you ever just stood in the kitchen and didn't have a clue what you wanted to cook? Well, I've just saved you about 45 minutes to an hour of trying to figure out what you're going to do. So the night before, you can plan breakfast, you can plan what you're going to make for the kids for lunch, and then if you want to, where you're going to pick dinner up or what you're going to cook for dinner, whatever. But you're going to know ahead of time, and it's going to save you a lot of time and energy. And one of the things that you definitely need to solidify is that you gotta stick to the agenda. You can't make the agenda and then still do your own thing. That's not gonna cut it. You need to stick to it, okay? So what I'm gonna do right now at the beginning is I'm going to give you a charge. I'm going to give you a little assignment. So for the next 30 to 60 days, after you've come up with this agenda, after you've come up with this schedule, what I want you to do is to follow it for the next 30 to 60 days, because it takes 21 days to build a habit, to make a habit. So if you do this for the next 30 to 60 days, it's going to become second nature. So you're going to make this rough agenda, and you're going to figure out what it is that you have to get done every single night. And you're going to do this for the next 30 to 60 days. So like I mentioned before, and repetition is king, we all have 24 hours in a day, and it's up to you to find the time to do what you need to get done. So let's go ahead, let's jump right in, and we're going to plan your basic agenda, and then we're going to get super specific. So after that, planning ahead daily will only take a few minutes every night. When you come up with that agenda, when you get specific every single night when you want to do your tweaking, it's only going to take you a short time because you're only going to need to tweak maybe one or two things on your agenda every night. You're not going to need to recreate this thing over and over again. So the more productive you are, the more time you have for what matters most. For me, spending time with my daughter, being there to see her do stuff, to spend time with her, to play with her, to do the silly things that she loves. For you, it might be something different. Maybe you are into fitness. Maybe you like to go see concerts or symphonies. Whatever it is, the more productive you are, the more time you have to spend on what matters to you. Okay? So let's go ahead. First of all, I need to let you know you have to be honest. Okay? You have to be honest. Don't block times out that you know are flexible. For instance, you want to list the times when you are absolutely not available. So, when are you 110% not available to do anything? And this is when you are at your JLB, when you are commuting, because I don't want you driving and working on your business, except for a few tips I'm going to share with you at the end, or when you're picking the kids up from school or dropping them off, or maybe they have a practice and you have to be there. I'm going to show you how to work around that as well. But you want to make sure when you're driving safely. When you're at work, you're doing the job, you're not doing other stuff. At least don't get caught. I'm just kidding. But seriously, block out the times when you're not available. These are times that absolutely cannot be changed. They can't be altered. So don't block off times like 3:30 to 5:30 in the morning because you have to get your beauty sleep. That's not how it works. It's times when you have to be somewhere and you can't do anything about it. So let's go ahead and create the basic agenda. Now, you know when you are not available, okay? We just talked about the times you're not available, but I want to use my personal schedule as a case study because I know that seeing is believing and seeing stuff makes it so much easier. In my actual coaching packages, I walk through everything. Okay, so I'm gonna walk myself through creating my schedule. You're gonna see how I do it, and then you can go ahead and create your own. Okay, so I know that I'm unavailable from 9 to 3:30. Okay, so from 9 a.m. to 3:30, that's a black hole. I know that I am at class, and maybe you are at work from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. You know that you have to block that out. Okay, I'm commuting usually around 7:45 to 8:30 and from 3:30 to 4:15. So I block that time out. Get home around 4 maybe. Most of the time, traffic, all that other stuff. But that stuff I can't change. So you want to block those time periods out because you're not available, right? So, what is important for you? For me, like I mentioned before, I gotta spend time with my daughter. I'm doing this for my daughter. So, I make sure that I spend 4 hours every single day with her. I read all over the internet that people are spending, that you need to schedule time with your spouse. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to spend time with your husband, with your boyfriend, whatever. But you never really hear about spending time with your kids, and they're focusing so much on reducing their divorce rate, but then we see that parents aren't spending the time they need with their kids. And I realized that I was working so hard on my business, I was literally stuck to the computer. So I scheduled in 4 hours from 4 to 8. That is time that I spend with her. Sometimes, she's playing or whatever, and I'll hop on my laptop or my iPad or whatever. Yes, but I have that scheduled time there, and you need to do that too. Schedule your family time. If you don't have family, schedule your you time so you don't go crazy. So from 4 to 8, it's dinner, family time, bath time, getting ready for bed, playing, going to the playground, doing this, doing that, watching a cartoon, you know, all that good stuff. And then working out is also important to me. Fitness, health, that's important to me. So I schedule that. I need to find some time in my day to schedule working out. So when I'm doing this, a lot of people tell me, yeah, that's it. That's the entire day. You just schedule from 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. It's bedtime. No. Because most people don't go to sleep at 8. They either hop in front of the television or they hop on the computer to play those Facebook games or whatever, or they hop on the game console. People don't go to bed at 8 usually, okay? So here is what you need to do. You need to cut that TV out or you need to schedule it, right? And you need to schedule when you're going to go to bed and when you're going to wake up. You're scheduling every single thing, okay? And no, you're not in prison, but you need to be productive so that you can get the most out of your time. For me personally, I focus on my business from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then I go to bed around 11 to 11:30 p.m. depending on what I need to get done. There's some miscellaneous things between 11 to 11:30 that I know I need to get done. For instance, you did the night before, you did that list, okay? So you know what loose ends you need to tie up between 11 and 11:30, and that's a good time for me to do it. And then I used to wake up around 5 to 5:30 and work out. Now I wake up and sometimes I work out in the evenings. Like I said, I tweak it every day because when I wake up at 5 o'clock, guess who else wakes up at 5 o'clock? My 2-year-old. And that's not working for me. Okay? So you just need to tweak this, play with this until it's perfect for you. So let's take a look at my detailed schedule, okay? And don't worry, inside of the mastermind group, there's going to be a download so you can come up with your own detailed schedule. I'm going to post those there. So just go ahead, look in the file section, and you are going to see that download in the mastermind group. And if you want access to that, just go below, click on that Google button that I created and head on over to the mastermind group, okay? So this is my detailed schedule. 5 to 5:30, wake up. 5:30 to 6:30 is my workout time. 6:30 to 7:30, get Cadence ready for sure. She gets ready to leave. I get ready around the same time, so we're both ready, and she goes to school. And then at 8:45 to 9:30 is my commuting time, okay? Now, I told you I was going to tell you a couple of things, a couple of ways that you can be productive. Now, if you are driving to work, you can still get some stuff done in whatever block of time you have for commuting, right? You can listen to audios, you can do some training, of course, no visual training, but audio training, okay? You can even brainstorm. I do that a lot. I brainstorm on my way to and from class. I mean, you got to make the best use of your time. Oops, typo. But anyway, 9:30 to 3:30. I'm unavailable because I'm in class, but I do have some breaks between classes, even though my schedule is usually pretty full. And I do little stuff between classes, like, maybe you need to write your blog, maybe you want to shoot a video, maybe you want to, I don't know, there's so many things that you can get done between classes. Respond to emails, respond to social media alerts. There are tons of things you can do, and if you are not in school, you can do this on your lunch break, right? You have an hour for lunch. It does not take you an hour to eat. And this is one of the things that you can plan the night before. What you're going to eat, if you need to go run get it, or if you're going to be productive and take your lunch to work, maybe take leftovers, or maybe buy it the day before. Figure it out, okay, so that you are super productive, and over that hour you can get some of the tasks done so that you don't need to spend the entire time doing that, okay? Now I'm going to continue with the breakdown of my schedule on video number 2. So go below, watch video number 2, and I'll see you there.